east of the Jordan, where the dry wind blew. There lived a man in the land of Uz, not spotless because life never touched him, blameless because his heart stayed turned toward God. Seven sons laughing, 3 daughters near. Fields full of cattle, servants everywhere. 7,000 sheep on the hills at dawn. 3,000 camels when the daylight came on. 500 oxen cut lines through the ground. 500 donkeys, whole household around. Great in the east, but he bowed down low. Knew every blessing had a place it flowed from. He didn't worship silver, didn't kneel to the land. Held what he owned with an open hand. Feared the Lord, turned away from wrong. Built his whole house where the roots grow strong. No outlaw halo, no pride in his name. Just a faithful man with a heart God claimed. While the tables were full and the children laughed, a shadow moved where no eye could track. Peace on the porch, stars over Uz, but heaven knew what the earth did not. One string prayed, one string warned. Some storms begin before clouds are born. I was the man from Uz, knees in the dust, hands to the heavens, heart full of trust. Blessed in the field, blessed at the fire, but the gift never stood above the giver. Before the ashes, before the scars, I gave him praise underneath the stars. When life was plenty and the road was good, I feared the Lord like a faithful man should. His children held feasts, each one took a day. Brothers and sisters gathered that way when the celebration had run its course. Job rose early and returned to the source. Called them to cleanse, brought offerings at dawn. One for each child before moving on. Maybe in their hearts they wondered inside. Maybe smiling faces got something to hide. So a father stood where a father should stand, covering his children with prayer in his hands. Not once for a show, not once for applause. He did it continually, faithful to God. Smoke rose slowly through the morning air. Love looked like sacrifice, love looked like prayer. He couldn't control every road they chose, but he could call the names where the altar smoke rose. And somewhere beyond what a mortal could see, an accuser was watching that family. The man knew worship, the man knew work, the man knew blessing, but he did not yet know the sound of one messenger after another. Would I still bow if the fences fell? Would I still trust that we'll live in hell? Would I praise when the barns went bare? Would I call you good when grief filled the air? I did not know what the next dawn held, but heaven had counted the faith in my chest. The enemy saw what the blessings surrounded. God saw a man whose roots went deeper. I was the man from Uz, knees in the dust, hands to the heavens, heart full of trust. Blessed in the field, blessed at the fire, but the gift never stood above the giver. Before the ashes, before the scars, I gave him praise underneath the stars. And when that peaceful chapter closed, the God I worship still held my soul. There was a man in the land of Uz, and the storm had already heard his name.